Preview here for our Big Ones live sale. It's something that we started 4 or 5 years ago to not only sell our top-end pigs, but to make a celebration of Gossa Genetics and, more importantly, Gossa Genetics customers. And it's a way for me to spoil my people and give them some free food, drinks, and hopefully some fellowship. It's very, very important to me to try to give back. And so that's why we have the live sale there at Hoosier Roots, meal provided. Schedule of events, doors open at 11. I'll back up just one step. 8 to whenever. Anytime you want to look at pigs on Sunday or the weekend, holler at me. But doors to the restaurant open at 11. The meal is served at noon. We've got 3-4 different options. I let those guys at the restaurant take care of it. And then the sale will start online, live sale, Chad Day Auctioneering with CCI. And Kennedy Ventures on the backside providing online bidding. This set of pigs is real special to me. I spent the majority of this sale is pigs that are out of first-time gilts that I fed out in this miserable old barn that should probably be torn down. I don't know how many bucket loads of dirty manure and straw I got out of there to feed out this set of gilts. But this is something, this set of pigs has been in the works for years. And I think the quality runs deep. I trust their genetics, and I trust how they're going to feed for you guys. So I appreciate you very, very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you Sunday, and I appreciate all of you. 63-3, Lot 2, there Sunday live at Hoosier Root. She'll sell very, very high on this particular gilt. Extremely long-fronted, extremely square. Comes from as predictable of a pedigree as I can give my customers on the dam side. And I love my blue pigs. I talk about it every online sale that we have. I talk about it to my buddies. I'm a huge fan of blue hogs. I have been. First time I won the Madison County Fair in 2008 was with a blue butt Barra.
Who was judging?
Oh, man, who was it? Neil Planup.
Oh.
Neil Planup was the judge. Wintex raised the Barra, sired by Tap Out. But trip down memory lane. Sorry, we got distracted. But love this gilt, love her quality. She's lot 2 in the sale.
Yeah, I'd say Jake offering her that high in the sale order should tell you what he thinks of her. And if you know Jake and talk to him, he's going to talk about his passion for blue-colored crossbred hogs, and he's had as much success in this division as anybody. And certainly, Jake, we talk about it almost every sale. Almost all shows, big shows now, have the opportunity to show in a separate division, but I don't think that matters with this one. I think she can compete no matter the division, no matter the size of show. This one's going to stand out. One of the better blue gilts that I can remember coming in this barn and talking about.
Yep, 63-3, trick 4, pass the hat, next, stay classy. All right, tag 3. Always save a special pig in my live sale for tag 3, and it's 70-3 this year. This pig would be sired by All Good, the boar at Leatherman's. Back on trick 3 next, stay classy, Sal. Another one of those 55s. Like I said, we bred All Good to multiple different 55-liter gilts last year. I thought that was a matchup made in heaven, and this pig is to me, he's what I strive to make every day. His bone work and hair quality, his big ring, his structural integrity and quality is second to none. I think his maturity, which is something that we simply do not talk enough about when we're selling hogs, is spot on. Very, very high on this pig, 70-3, tag 3.
Yeah, the proportions are right. I mean, you want to win Barra shows, this is the kind of proportions I think you need to have. He's short about his back, but long about his hip, long about his front end. He's stout and manly about his skull, but still clean about his jawline. His forearm, no matter the color pattern, is huge. His feet are big. He's comfortable. Jake, you had talked about using his sire for a lot of things, but one of the things you mentioned was strength of front foot. This one does that and does it to a high level. He leaves you a memorable look when he trails directly away from you because he's so square, so stout, packed with muscle, but knows how to handle it as well. Certainly one going to be on the shortest of lists if anybody comes to the barn.
Yeah, I mean, he's got I talk about this a lot, but he's got the basics covered, and I think we got to have the basics covered before we start talking about the stupid crap like the hair off the back of the arm. But by God, he's got that too. I love this hog's proportions. I think he can compete. I'm not a foolish person and say, oh, he's going to win something big. I just think he's going to give somebody a very good opportunity to be very, very competitive in August. Very good pig in 70-3. All right, 6311. We're selling 3 of these 63-liter blue pigs on Sunday, and I like all of them a great deal. This one's going to be tag 4. And going to sound like a broken record talking these things. Their quality is undeniable. Their consistency is key to their success. But that view going away from me, and I'm sure it might not sync up with the video and everything, but that video going away from me on this pig, he's squaring his upper hip, he's squaring his lower stifle, he's squared his toes on the ground and the surface. And I study that view on my hogs and take the utmost pride in that view. Really good pig, stylish, and he obviously has got that patented Summitville Blue Belt pattern to boot.
Do you ever get confused looking at your pigs? Like, I thought I had my mind made up on which ones my favorites were, and my list was made, and then one comes in, and I'm like, now the list changes a little bit because this hog's design, presence, profile is what has allowed, in your words, you to be self-employed. Length of hip, length of front, comfort level, the ability to be fed to a big weight and compete at that big weight. This one has that. We talked some earlier that I think also have those qualities, but I think this one would be awfully fun for somebody that can try to win a blue division at a Midwest State Fair and just be out there at 290 pounds and doing laps around the competition, because I think this one is built that way. Skeleton's correct. Going to be fun to see where this one ends up.
Clay, to answer your question, I am confused every day about everything.
That's fair. Yeah.
Anyway, good pig, tag 4, 6311, blue belted male, sired by Trick 4. All right, 65-4. He'll be the first dark cross that we sell on Sunday at Hoosier Roots, and he's not he doesn't love to just roll on this carpet. He'll just kind of stand there like a statue most of the time unless you beat him around. But I told Clay before we kicked these mics on, and thank God that the stuff before the mics get kicked on.
Pay-per-view maybe opportunity.
Yeah. Hopefully things get screened there a little bit. But I told Clay, I said, at the point of this whole thing is to make them as small-headed as possible with the biggest back leg as possible. I think 65-4 comes pretty close. Unreal proportions, unreal bone, unreal hair. He's got some stretch to him. He's not going to get to the finish line in July. He's for sure an August or beyond type of pig, depending on what you're looking for. He'll hold around and be there for a while. Don't like to sell my pigs. We want to win bear shows, but those that are boar hunting, I think he would be a conversation piece at any open house or viewing of boars as well. Very, very unique pig.
Yeah, he's all the buzzwords you hear people talk about. Hair, bone, foot size, feature, look. He certainly has a lot of stretch in him. If you're trying to win a bear show in the month of August, I think this one could certainly fit that. He'd be one that I think would be awfully fun for somebody to have on feed and go out to the barn and take care of every day. He just, to me, projects out to be a really high-quality, hard-to-beat kind in the big ring when it comes August. So really good crossbred male here from Jake.
I like this pig a tremendous amount. I will definitely have him on my short list. I can't wait to see what he looks like as a grown-up. I'm so generous this month. I know it's not Christmas. I'm so generous. I'm going to throw in the extra dew claw that he's got for free. Tag 6, 60-6, propagate, saddle up, American made, would read this hog's pedigree. And really, really high on this pig, and he's one of my favorite dark cross bears that we're going to be selling here in the Big One Live. And I know I complain a lot about raising hogs. It sucks, right? On a daily basis, it's Groundhog's Day. I mean, there's a lot, but the thing that keeps me going is working through the genetics and getting to a point here with when you're using your own stuff and you've bred on those sows for so long, and you get to make livestock like this. And I'm very, very high on this pig. I think he's got all the buzzwords that you need in terms of just the bone, the hair, but yet he's built so right. His height to shoulder, his length to front. He's just a very, very good, complete pig, and I'm very, very proud that he's out of a boar that I raised and kept back and used for the little things.
Yeah, he's pretty good, Jake. He's stout, he's square, he's flexible, he gives you a good look from the side, and he is extra mobile when he's out here on the surface. And to me, those are things that usually lead to winning pig shows, and I think this one gives you that chance. I think if you're serious about trying to win a big-time hog show, I think this one gives you a great advantage to start with. I like this one a whole bunch. If you text or call me, he's going to be towards the top of the list.
Yeah, hopefully he cooperates a little bit here for us, and we get some good passes in the video. He's wanting to chew on the carpet. It's almost like they haven't been on this thing 100 times and know what it tastes like. But a very, very good pig, 60-6, tag 6 in the live sale. Propagate, saddle up. All right, 65.5, one of my favorite litters that I'll get to talk about. So if I get a little long-winded, I apologize. But 65.5 in our live sale, sired by the All Good, back on a 55.7, Trick 3, next, Stay Classy. Those Trick 3, next, Stay Classy sows are going to be bell cows for us for several litters here. They all farrowed unassisted as gilts, and, It's funny because they're moderate, they're stout, they're broad, they look like they're really good at softball, and yet they still did the little things in terms of just being maternal and getting those pigs out and just being really, really good in the crate. To speak to this pig as an individual, he is massive boned, big hairy legs. He is going to do really good things once he gets out of my barn. He's going to get better every day, and he's going to make a hell of a show pig here. So, Clay?
Yeah, before we started recording, we thought we might have to have a dump button for Jake for this pig, because he was saying he was describing this pig very with some nice adjectives. I'm sure if you call or text him, he could say those for you if you're interested. But this pig is crazy stout, Jake. He's big all the way to the ground with big feet, big toes. He's stout about his skull, but when you study him and he props himself up, he's long-fronted, he's attractive, and still looks like he's got some give and he can be pushed with the gas pedal full go. So I think if you're serious about feeding one to win, this one certainly could fit the bill. If you like to feed them stout, this one's probably going to be towards the very, very top of your list.
Yeah, I mean, just bone and hair. I told you, I forget what pig I was talking about, but I was just talking about how much value I found in that All Good boar. And his strong front feet and his up-and-out look, I thought complemented those 55s sows so well. So we bred multiple 55-litter sows to All Good. You're going to see throughout this preview just how that mating worked, and we think that the 65.5 is the first one we've seen, at least the guys here on the camera and you guys watching at home. But really cool pig, pumped up about this litter of pigs, and excited to see him feed. All right, 62.3 is one of my favorite pigs in our live sale that we're going to be selling. She's always had a stout look. She's sired by the Claws boar there at McCoy's. I think she's the first 62 we've had in here today. She is out of a Punisher sow that would be a litter mate to the 3rd overall market gilt at MLE for Rob Chapman's son Reese there in, I want to say 23. And that gilt was burly and stout, and the indicators of this gilt having those pieces is there. Last year that sow would have had 81 litter pigs that we would have sold in the big one, and a very well received litter, but even more than being well received, they fed really well. The young man in Ohio, Trent Felding, would have had a gilt that had some OH pig success and jackpot success, and I think there was like 4 or 5 county fairs that all won out of 81 litter hogs. Just a very, very good, deep litter of pigs that fed well in her last litter. We didn't get her bred in the summer. She had these Claws pigs. They're stout, they're burly, they're big-ribbed. They look like they're good at contact sports. Bandana on the back of a Harley kind. You know what I mean?
I've never heard that one, so I don't know what that exactly means. But I do know that this pig is built right and built tough. This is a very interesting kind of a crossbred gilt. She is stout mugged. She is stout jawed. She is clean about her throat latch. Her neck ties in on the top side of her body. And when you study that muscle and shape on the top side of her skeleton, it's impressive. And the view she gives you when she goes away from you, she's big in her upper hip, and she takes that power all the way to the ground and does it with a square big hind leg and a big foot. Nice kind of a gilt. Jake, I don't know if you're going to want me to say this, but I'm going to say it. I think this gilt could be very competitive at the Michigan Livestock Show as a market gilt.
Yeah, and she looks a lot like the gilt last year that Swears would have had there at MLE. There was just massive bone.
Mm-hmm. Huge.
just a freak. And real high on this gilt. I thought about putting her, in that top spot, black-headed gilt. Kind of wanted to, didn't know how people would feel about her color pattern. But
make a jab at a friend, maybe.
Yeah. I don't think she'll be big enough to go there. But yeah, tag 8, real good pig, claws, Punisher. 58 litter pig here, only 58 in the litter. Another litter, Clay, that I'll just be transparent. I watched being born outside. We were tight. We were tight on crates trying to get all these things.
Hog farmers, you act like you don't know when these things, the gestation cycle.
Them 114 days sneak up on you. I've been trying to build a new farrowing house for like 3 straight years. But anyway, this is a Propagate Propagate Pace Car Judgment Day. This gilt has been one of my favorites here, and she's going to sell early in our live sale. Extremely proportional, extremely hairy arm, good muscle, flat backed, striking look from the side. She's one that I think should be on your short list from a power and a power and substance standpoint as well. Nice pig here in this Propagate gilt.
Yeah, you talked about her power and her substance, but also she gives you that awesome look when she wants to show herself off from the side. Up and out look, like you've said on some others, and neck ties in smoothly to her shoulder blade. Very comfortable, very good look from the side. Again, designed right, balanced, proportion. That stuff still wins hog shows.
Yep, she's maybe not liking the picture pin the most and is uncomfortable in here. But she's always been a sure-footed, proportional pig that maybe just is starting to stress out a little bit on us here. But like her, come look at her in person. She's a pretty high-quality pig. Okay, here we go. Tag 10, Get Real, My Intention. This gilt looks uncanny to the gilt that we let off the big ones last year with, in my opinion. Just a gilt that is sharp about her edge and dead square. She's got she reminds me so much of that Chapman gilt last year that I liked quite a bit there, and just I think resembles that one. Her mom would have raised it to Champion Division I gilt at MLE last year for Nick Thompson's son there, and real high-quality pig. Sorry, I'm struggling to find my words. I was just kind of actually looking at her. There are some pigs, I just never get to look at. So.
Well, not sitting down either. We're sitting down, studying from a different angle.
Had to take some weight off these old dogs.
This gilt is well-balanced, well-designed, very stout-featured, stout at the ground, comfortable about her step, takes a good long step, looks like she's going to get to a big heavyweight kind of a market animal or breeding gilt and be competitive. I think you have the option here to show her how you'd like, but I think one that could be competitive early on if you want to jackpot and take her to a big summer show and then roll her into a state fair. I think those are all options on this kind of a gilt. Yeah,
really nice gilt out of a proven My Intention sow that's done a really, really good job for us. Covers the bases, has muscle. Really nice pig here. Excited to see where she lands. Excited to see how she feeds. Tag 11, 66-1, a littermate to tag 1. Another one of those Flight Club lunch pails. He's the second one we decided to put in the live offering. Another one that, again, this is kind of what I was looking for out of Fight Club. That Wintex boar there that sold at Louisville last summer and then stands at Gold Rush is just that pattern and look ahead of their shoulder blade, length of hip, and just that style and design that those Wintex Durocs are known for. Again, can't say enough positive things about the sow and what she looks like as a mature. I mean, just stupid heavy boned and so stout everywhere. I mean, she's just got all the indicators of a generator for us for, as long as she wants to be a sow in Summitville. But to speak to this thing as an individual, just super high quality. I think this has got a pig that's got some, could show later in summer just by the way he's performing early in life. Long-fronted, sure-footed, strong pastern. What do you say, Clay Parrish?
Yeah, I like the design of this hog. He resembles his sire to me a lot. He's square off both ends of his skeleton. Very good in his knee, very good in the angle to his shoulder, and when his neck comes out of the top side of his shoulder blade, that's a long ways till he gets to the end of his nose. And when he's on the move, he's so flexible and comfortable, still probably maybe just a little green in terms of muscle shape. If you feed Duroc barrows, that's probably how you want them to look at this stage of their life. So I think one that you would have an awfully fun time trying to feed to a Midwest State Fair. I think this one could play on a big stage.
Yeah, I mean, all the red bears that we've had success with, thinking back to Russell's 4th overall at Louisville a few years ago, and that gilt that won North American for them, they've always started with a greener muscle, and they've started with a really long front end. Durocs don't have a problem getting bunchy, and when we start long off both ends of our skeleton, it seems like there's a good rate of success for us, and see a lot of good things in this Tag 11. In here we got our one 74-liter male that we're going to offer here, a different style of Duroc that we had in our Fight Club litter. This is a Have It All, Paint the Picture, Space Jam, above all. This would be probably our most successful Duroc line in terms of winners at the big level. Great-great-granddam would have been the champion Duroc gilt at the North American Livestock Expo. For the Russell family, that sow would have had a Space Jam litter that would have had the 4th overall at Louisville there again for the Russell family. And we've kind of built upon that. Mom's a 3/4 sieved class-winning red gilt that the Gunning family had from me at Indy there a couple years ago. But to speak to this pig as an individual, boy, he is moderate, short back, dense, burly, hairy, and just comes with a ton of power to the table. He'll have no problem, even though being a Duroc being sold on February 1st, he's going to have no problem sliding into your state fair window here in the Midwest, just based on the generations that we've worked with this line and kind of how he indicates how he's going to perform.
Yeah, our friend that we talk to often, Dane, would send Snapchats of his hair. Because that's that dense, good hair, and sometimes on a Duroc, that's not always the case. This one has those key buzzwords we hear people talk about and like to discuss, but he does so in a correct, well-balanced kind of a package. He's moderate, but he's still long in the right places of a skeleton for me to think he's going to be able to stretch quite, as long as you'd like him to. He's stout when he comes at you, mainly in his chest floor, square at the ground, off both ends, a really nice kind of a Duroc male here.
All right, our only landrace male, the sow gave us a heavy gilt litter this time, and this is our landrace male that we're going to offer in our live sale. We have sold the champion landrace male at MLE the last 2 years out of our sale, and think this guy can certainly follow into the footsteps. It seems like the best pigs out of this Timing's Right sow always start a little bit green, and you're going to wonder, are they flat enough back, are they busted open enough? And I swear I'll always sell those pigs, and I'll go up there. You can talk to my buddy Zach Swears about it, because I'll go up there and I'll be like, I don't know, and then they flip a gear and they just become men with big burly backs and big legs, and this pig looks a lot like those bears that have done some winning at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I'd say maybe the one advantage that this specific animal has compared to the previous ones is he's maybe just a little longer hipped than what the last two MLE winners would have done, which I think is a good thing. And like Jake said, that the power and the punch continues to come as they mature. And again, the one thing I always tell people, trust the breeder. They know the lineage. They know how these things mature, and I think this one certainly has an opportunity. Zach Swears and I don't talk about landrace very much. We talk about other things, but certainly somebody that I think highly of, and somebody that would really like this animal.
Yeah, they always just kind of start looking like this, and then in the end, they're just hammers. And sometimes you just kind of want to give up on them sometimes, but you can't because they always turn out. And I think this male pig represents those bears and the gilts that have won out of this this lineage in the past, but does so that is longer fronted and longer hipped.
Yep.
If you want your landrace to look like crossbreds on January 23rd, I think that you might be up for a long uphill battle. But I think this hog's skeletal integrity is extremely, extremely good. All right, tag 14. We're going to talk our landrace gilt here for the big ones, and again, much like I mentioned on that previous pig we had in here, there was a landrace. Our landrace are shaping up. They're looking good. They trace their lineage back to those good Kenton, Kalen, Bratton, sow families there that had done a lot of winning for a long, long time, and we think there's a tremendous amount of quality there. The mother of this thing would have won the Indiana State Fair for Elizabeth Baker in 2022. She would also been reserve landrace gilt at Expo. The sow, as she's gotten here to Summitville, we moved her here, and she's had the champion market landrace at MLE the last 2 years for the Swears family. She would have had the Shoon gilt last year that was 4th overall. Thomas's daughter would have had a gilt that I was very, very high on that I think placed well at jackpot shows. And very good landrace gilt here in Dash 5.
Yeah, another one that gives you a memorable look from the side, especially in this landrace breed. You can worry about front 1/3 in that look, but this one does so in an elegant kind of a fashion, and she really, really is flexible and comfortable about her skeleton. Love the way she leaves you square and true all the way to the ground, one that you're not going to have to make excuses for, and you're not going to have to worry. Sometimes these landraces can get bunchy and short. This gilt will not do that. She's going to continue to mature the way she's supposed to. Going to be an awesome kind of a big ring gilt when she gets to a heavyweight. I like this landrace gilt a bunch.
73.5, high and tight, bingo. Timing's right, Sal. All right, another 60-litter pig, 60-5, Propagate. Propagate, Saddle Up, American Made, and another litter that, I think we've ran 3 in here so far. The things you're going to see that are consistent is just foot, toe quality, rib shape, center body dimension. They're broad pigs that have some look and extension. This particular pig, when he gets out and rolls, I think is extremely, extremely impressive. Just a very three-dimensional pig.
Yeah, and the short-backed, wide, square, big upper hip, big up high, still long about his front end, flexible and comfortable. I mean, we keep going. This one needs to be looked at. I think probably could be held a little bit too for a later endpoint compared to maybe some of the others. But I think this one needs to be studied. He certainly needs to be high on a lot of people's lists. This one that looks like what show bearers need to look like at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing that I love about these hogs is I feel like at sale time there are these hogs that you can talk buzzwords with, like bone and hair. I think there are hogs that you got to like kind of project as having upside.
Yep.
They're a little more immature. But you can talk the little things with this guy.
Yep.
You can talk pastern strength. Yep. You can talk toe quality. But you can also talk just those extra pieces that it takes. So a very nice pig here, 60-5, again sired by that Propagate boar. That's a Trick 3 son that was raised by Gossett Genetics. We're proud of him. We used him. He's going to be well represented in this sale. He's going to be well represented in our summer crop. We've already committed hard to that thing. Pretty excited about these Propagate pigs. All right, 60-4. He's the first Propagate that we rolled in here. Propagate is a Trick 3 next, Stay Classy, 55-litter boar we kept from last summer, and certainly one that we have a lot of faith in, and you'll see him well represented within the live offering here at the big one on Sunday. This pig has always been one of my favorites to feed into a big one. He might not be the cutest little bitty jackpot pig, but we put him in the live sale because of what I see as indicators of a big ring successful pig there in the end there. So he is going to be a pig that I think excels at those little things. He's upright on his feet. He's good in terms of his skeleton. He's very angular and bendy off both ends. He's got a big stout skull. He's got big square toes. He's a pig that I've got a lot of faith in and just to feed and to be a really good big pig.
Yeah, and you study the top side of his skeleton. He's shapely. He's got spread. He's a three-dimensional type of an animal that you don't need to make excuses for. Like you said, Jake, this is the type of animal that in a big ring, heavyweight market hog is going to be really tough to get around. He's square. He's mobile. Angles read true and right. Still clean about his jawline. Really ties in high on the top side of where his neck and shoulder meet. So the kind I think when you get to 280 pounds will be pretty tough to get around in a market hog show.
Yeah, and I didn't speak on it. The bottom side would be saddle up, American made, stay classy. That saddle up would be a mate to a bear that the Beasley family showed in Texas that had quite a bit of jackpot success for us and hung several banners and then made the sale at I can't remember exactly what major that pig went to, but I remember he was a sale maker and just a high quality litter of bears that the sow came out of, and see so much represented in this particular individual that was in that particular litter. So again, big chested, square pinned, has all those indicators of being a really good big pig, really high on this tag 16 60-4. Tag 17 71.5. This is a get real My Intention. My Intention sow, My Intention Hush Money has done a great job. That Hush Money sow was a staple for us for a long time in terms of making sale makers and winners and high sellers, and this daughter is kind of on the same path. In her last litter, the My Intention sow would have generated the Division I champion at MLE for Nick Thompson's son. That was a stop and stare pig. Would have generated a boar that was at Biscuits for a short, brief stint, Chris and Blake, and unfortunately just never had the health to kind of roll. But this sow does a really good job. This pig is packed full of muscle and power. If you like feeding muscle, if you like feeding moderation, man, this is the pig for you in our offering. That is a big burly back. That is a ton of expression and a ton of shape. And I do think that this pig does have a long show window because of that. I think this is a pig that we can stretch for as long as you need to stretch. He is one of those pigs that's going to hold really, really well. And I say that, and a lot of times you get hogs that have this much power, and you've already started to see them go out in their hock. This guy's as dead square at his hock joint as they could be for having this much power, punch, and just substance in the center portion of his body.
Yeah, one of the things I like most about this pig is when he comes right at you. Our good friend Clay Zwilling would say that this one's intimidating when he comes straight at you. Opened up and busted open, and his chest floor square all the way down to his front foot. Skeletally correct, like you said, Jake, for having that much power and muscle and to stay so correct in his movement is tough to do. I think if you like feeding ones with muscle, I think this one can be very competitive that first weekend in August.
Yeah, he's and like I said, for me as a hog breeder, the only thing I can confidently say to my customers is what the sows and the grand dams have done. I don't like to project because then you get into this position of making these expectations. I like to talk about the pedigree here. And for me, we've had winners, we've had boars, we've had success. So right here, 71.5, get real, My Intention. 59.2, Propagate Comfort Zone Punisher. Grand Dam would be a litter mate to Riley Rodaball's Reserve Grand at Indy and division winner there at Expo. Blue Gilt from Kyle Riggs would have picked that sow up from Drew and Dane and Daniel Johnson there a couple years ago, and I've always been gravitated towards this pig. I remember him. I remember his first step, Clay, and the reason why I remember his first step was because he was born outside, and he wasn't in a fairing.
That wasn't planned.
No. I can't really say I remember the first steps of many pigs, but this one in particular, I remember getting an early look at this thing on the ground, if you know what I mean, and. Sorry. Guys, it's a long day video, and you got to entertain yourself. But it is the truth. But this Comfort Zone gilt was something born, never shown, and we're kind of getting into some gilts out of that Punisher deal. And I'm excited to kind of see where this thing leads. This is one of my favorite pigs. If he gets his head up and cooperates, he's long-fronted, he's sure-footed. He does have a swirl top for those that are turned off by that. It doesn't really affect me. But he has such a great up-and-out look. There you go, buddy. You going on that stick. He has such a great up-and-out look to him. I think his presence and everything is so good. I see this pig being really, really competitive at a Midwest August State Fair. Beautiful arm shape, beautiful head, neck, runs straight uphill. I'll shut up.
Yeah, he does run straight uphill, but Jake, sometimes when we talk about that upheadedness and awesome look, they get forward and straight in their shoulder, and you worry about their front 1/3. This one doesn't. He's comfortable. That shoulder sets right in him, and like you said, that neck comes out high. Man, that's a stout jaw and a stout skull. He comes at you square all the way to the ground, leaves you the same way. Very comfortable kind of a show barrow prospect here.
Yeah, just super fond of this pig. I've always, for some reason, been drawn to them. They're just some pigs. I mean, these aren't, my biological kids. I can pick favorites, and there's something about this pig I've always thought, like that's going to work. Like maturity, stoutness, just everything about him. So, nice pig. 59-2. Propagate. Comfort Zone Punisher. All right, 69-8. I know we've talked. Clay was making fun of me, like how many pigs did this sow have, and how many did you pull from the sale? Because we do get selective on what we pull out of from home and bring to the chip barn. It's about 8 miles away, and I said they just were all cookie cutters, and I thought they fit the bill for the sale that week, and so. This is 69-8, and this is of the 69 litter. I think this is the one that I probably gravitate towards the most, just in terms of proportionality. Very good in terms of his length to height ratio. He's square off both ends of his skeleton. He's got shape and muscle, but he's not bunchy or quick. Very sure-footed pig that I think's got a long feeding window and a lot of upside.
Yeah, I like this pig too, Jake. He would certainly be towards the top for me in this litter, and bone, foot size, structure, skeletal integrity is very good. His angle reads true, and we've said it almost about every hog. Strength of front foot has been very good on all these hogs, Jake, and that's something I think we maybe don't talk enough about is when these hogs get to 280 pounds and you're worried about their front feet staying together. It can be a challenge, and it can be very, very frustrating, but this hog very good in that aspect. And I love the proportion, length of spine, length of hip, length of front are all where they need to be for this stage of this pig's life. I think he can be very competitive at a high level.
Yeah, I like to feed too much Paline for my pigs to start out a little flat-footed, if I'm being honest.
Well,
if you want to,
we've talked about your honesty already today.
Yeah, I like to blast them there at the end, and you start with a soft-footed one that gets a little more challenging. So, but really proportional pig, a lot of upside, proven sow, good kind of pig here to end on our last 69 litter pig to talk. I wish I could get my life together and sell all my pigs when they're this size, Clay. I know I sell my pigs probably bigger than the masses. But nonetheless, this is one of those 72s, and this would be a get real, pass the hat, next, stay classy. Man, you're buying a pig right here with a beautiful running gear. You're buying a pig right here with beautiful proportions and a ton of upside, beautiful chest floor as he comes at you. He is by far the greenest pig that we're going to sell in the live sale, but I thought he fit a different window than all the other pigs. I think he's a pig that is completely different in terms of how you can feed him, and for those that want that style of something that you can push on to get to August, or maybe even go to one of those later state fairs, those Labor Day state fairs and stuff, I thought this tag 20 would be a good option to slot into the sale. I love his immature build, I love his skeleton, and I love his upside. He doesn't have a ton of muscle on January 29th today, but those get reels have showed me a predisposition to coming with a tremendous amount of shape and power.
Well, like you said, Jay, compared to some of the others in the barn, certainly on the greener side of things. But like you said, I think if you're somebody who likes to push and shove on one and doesn't have to hold them for 6 weeks to hope they stay and make weight for a state fair, and like to project them and stay on the uphill climb of the roller coaster, this is the one to feed. And his proportions are correct. He's immature about his look. He's comfortable in his step. Very, very nice kind of a pig. Again, different than others, but one I think needs to be looked at.
Yep, this is another one of those get real, pass the hat, next, stay classy, tag 20. 63-4. This would be one of the trick 4 pass the hats. Another one, we've got a lot of videos to do. I'm not going to talk about the winners and all the pedigrees and stuff, but if you call me, I've got faith in the backside of these things. They've generated winners in the past. I think there's winners in the barn in this set. But again, sired by trick 4. This gilt has always had, to me, that junior heifer kind of lines. I mean, when she props her head up, there is not a angle or proportion on her body that is out of place. I love the way her neck ties in, her hip is level, her tail head, everything about her silhouette to me is ideal, and that is what I'm so attracted to about this 63-liter gilt.
You said pass the hat, mother.
Yeah.
She looks a lot like those pass the hat gilts did when we've done videos and talking before. She's three-dimensional. She's opened up about the center portion of her body. She's still attractive, like you said, and her lines and the way she ties everything together just fit. And she looks like a well-balanced kind that just never go out of style. That I think, again, you talked on another one, long-term, if you're thinking about maybe investing in a female that you can either A, return on your investment and sell, or B, put in the sow pen when you're done showing her. I think this is a good opportunity here.
Yeah, I have no problem hoarding females. I mean, I have kept gilts I shouldn't keep, gilts I couldn't live without. You'll find in this particular offering, I'm selling them. I poured a lot of concrete last year. I plan on pouring a lot more this year. And, my gilt hoarding habits I've suspended them the first 3 months of 2026 because we got a lot of projects to do. Take advantage of my aspiration to make my life easier.
This is the kind you'd hoard every day of the week. Her length of hip, length of step. Second to none that we've talked about.
I love that song that Aaron Tippin sings. You got to stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. And this is the kind of livestock I stand for. This is my kind, and really big fan here of this 63-liter gilt. Tag 22, 61-1. This pedigree would read Claws Saddle Up, American Made. Another Saddle Up, American Made sow. Came from a litter of bears that fed extremely well, was born in the summertime, had some jackpot success and some sale makers down south out of those. I think there were 49 litter hogs, but tremendous amount of success. And then on the top side, we've got the McCoy Boar Claws, and we're going to run a few different ones of those through here, the Claws pigs, and really like what he did for us in terms of just making them stout, making them hairy, doing the right things. Their skeletons are really, really correct. I don't really need to talk too much about the Claws thing. I mean, he's probably done as much good as any boar the last 12 months at state fairs and big shows, just making winners because they're genuine, authentic livestock that's broad, dense, and burly. I think this gilt's got all the indicators to be of that kind.
Yeah, and one I think, Jake, could show till you want to stop, I would say. She looks like she's going to stay immature her whole life and get big, and you can show these things at 350, 375 pounds anymore. I don't know when she could stop because that's how she's built. She's built to last, in my opinion. She's long about her front end, but still stout between her eyes. I don't know what her target endpoint would be. I'd say that's to the buyer's discretion, but love the skeleton in her, love the stoutness of feature, big-footed, good toes, very stout when she comes at you. Nice kind of a crossbred gilt.
Yeah, this is tag 59 for there. Propagate Comfort Zone Punisher. That Punisher would be a litter mate to the Reserve Grand at the Indiana State Fair in 2022. that Riley Rodeball would have showed and Kyle Riggs would have raised. Would have picked up that sow late there from some local breeders that had her, and started to get some daughters into production, and excited about the future of what those hold. I think there's a really nice barrow in that litter that we're going to sell. This gilt has striking presence from the side profile. Beautiful tail set, high-headed, sharp-jawed, really good in terms of front foot strength and just power, and really like this gilt. I think we're selling 3 of these 59s, and all of them I think have a tremendous amount of quality.
Yeah, this tag 23 has that wild presence and look about her that's memorable for a judge. You know, that first impression on this gilt is going to be awfully neat. She's going to head to the scales, get weighed back, and be one that the judge is looking forward to talking about because her proportions, her lines, her skeletal integrity is very good, and she has heaviness of structure as well and power. When she leaves you, that's a big upper hip, handles it really well.
I think this is going to be a gilt that you can slide into an August breeding gilt show. I think she looks her best at 330 pounds. And then I know Clay likes to talk about ROI and just getting your money back out of these gilts. And I think this is one, from a sow family that's seen the top of the mountain in terms of success and power. And then on the top side sire, you've got our herd boar Propagate, who is a Trick 3 neck sow, and we've talked a lot about those neck stay classy sows and kind of what they mean to us in Summitville and what we're building around. And it was logical for me to take a neck stay classy son and put it on top of my this Riggs kind of sow family that I'm playing with. So nice pig here. Excited to see where she lands. 63.3. So we've ran a couple of the 65.3. I'll need to make a change on that. That's my fault. But we've ran a few of those 65-liter male pigs in here. This would be the first of the 65 gilts, and so all good. Trick 3 next. Stay classy. I'll speak to some success on the dam side just because I think this is a potential investment for a sow for somebody. But Grandma would have raised the reserve middleweight at Nail, the reserve overall at Western Regional, the reserve light cross at the Ohio State Fair, the third overall market gilt there at Michigan Livestock Expo. A winning sow family the last couple years for us, and then sired by that all good boar. This gilt, incredible presence, incredible look ahead of her blade. Nice pig. Yeah,
this looks like a high-quality crossbred breeding gilt to me. Her look, her design, her profile from the side, she's square when she comes at you. She could probably be competitive at all points. I think this is one that if you want a jackpot, I think she could do that and get along. I think she could get along, at Expo and in those earlier summer shows as a lighter weight kind of a gilt. And then I think you roll her on into whatever endpoint you want, probably a long time from today because it is January the 26th as we sit here today, and there's a long ways until an endpoint, but I think she's going to be good at all stages of her life. Good kind of a crossbred gilt here from Jake.
Yeah, and some of the smartest people that I know of in this game will tell you to breed gilts out of litters with killer bears, and I think the litter of bears, those 65-liter bears, are very good, very sporty. Mom did the little things in the crate. Look in here if you want a sow prospect, 65.3. 63.10. This will be the first of many 63s that we run across the green carpet and the camera here for Walton today, and a deep litter. Their pedigree would read Trick 4, Pass the Hat, Next Intention, Stay Classy. Their mom would be a litter mate to Agent Zero, a boar we had here that very excited about what he did for us in his short time here. And then those gilts were really good. And we bred her to Trick 4, and sometimes I think in this hog industry we're always searching. We're always, next, and I get it. Progression's awesome, but there's something that's there's something in the nuance of using a proven boar and knowing what you're going to get. And those tricked out clones, I might breed us out to them here this summer. I don't know how many years in a row I've had pigs out of those clones, but they do a really good job. To speak to some winners on the dam side, we had the Grandma would have been the dam of the champion market gilt for Booskel's at MLE a couple years ago. Russell's had a blue gilt last year that did really well. There was a mate Barrow that did really, really well. Perry was 4th overall, light cross. Just really good stuff here, packed in the pedigree, proven pedigree. From a size standpoint, I do think this fits my Michigan Livestock Expo people really, really well. But I'll let you talk about his physical attributes, Clay, but I'm another bear I'm very, very high on.
Yeah, somebody smarter than me or more creative would probably have fun terms to listen to. But, Jake, you always talk about having limbs that could pound nails with or something. This one's forearm you could pound nails with. It's so big. This is a tough-built hog. He looks tough to me. He's shapely. He's three-dimensional. He's rugged. He's square when he leaves you. That's big upper hip all the way to the ground with big legs, big feet, good toes, very comfortable, good on his feet. One that I think could really, really be competitive. Like Jake said, I don't know if he's still if he holds till the month of August. I would say some people probably could and do it comfortably, but I think the state of Michigan, if you want to be competitive at MLE at the Market Hog Show, this one could definitely fit the bill.
Yeah, 63-10, really, really good pig. Very, very high on my list of bears to feed here this summer. 55-8, another pig that is a little bit older, but maybe not reflective of his physical stature or size. He is a propagate on a iron fist sow. Would be a 3/4 sib to the Chapman market gilt that we were talking about earlier. Very, very heavy bone, big chested, very loose made, long fronted. Really like this pig, and I kind of. You know what? I've never not been honest, Clay.
No, it's one of my favorite things about you.
I've always
nobody can say Jake Gossett's not genuine.
Exactly. Long story short, this pig, I kept him alive with Hydrate, and
shout out.
Shout out. No free shout outs to TTF Nutrition, but long story short, this thing, his mother didn't love him, and just like any good, story. He's overcome adversity early in life, and he's here, and he's hairy, and he's stout, and he's wide, and he's sound, and I think he's going to make a really good show bearer.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to love him a little bit, like you did, to maybe get him to cooperate. But I think his proportions, his structure and stoutness feature with look and design are very, very impressive. He's probably not going to want to cooperate here. Jake had made mention of that a little earlier off camera, but I think if you come here, this one's going to probably be one that you gravitate towards because he checks a lot of boxes that we hear judges talk about when they're talking about winners in 2026.
Yeah, love his length of hip, love his bend and angularity out back, and then like I said, he's faced that adversity early in life that he's going to always come with a little more bone and hair than his contemporaries. Very nice pig, worth giving a shot. 55-8, propagate. Tag 27, the gilt in the litter, 72-1. Had a few people ask me, why are you selling this one? It looks like a gilt you would typically keep, and she is. I think she's a generational improvement over some of my stuff in terms of squareness of knee and chest floor, muscularity. Those are all things that every day in Summitville that we work to improve on because we've always been build and design guys, and we need to expand on width, bone, dimension, and power. And this gilt does that. I think she's a very good, high-quality gilt. Her lines, her symmetry are all there. Clay, take it over.
Yeah, I think if you want confidence in the rest of the litter coming with power, I think just look at this gilt because she has it. She's shapely. She's three-dimensional, opened up off both ends. Very good in her center. Very, very stout in her skull, but still clean about her jawline. One, I think, if you have the opportunity to show a market gilt, and Jake, we talk about this almost every sale. We don't mean that to be a negative that this gilt can't compete.
Yeah.
I just think the way she is built, I think she can be a competitive market gilt if you have the opportunity to show her as that. She'll be a great breeding gilt and competitive there as well. But I just think her muscle and her pattern read to me that she could be a competitive market hog.
Yeah, tag 27, great paint job, great color pattern, tons of power to burn. Nice pig here in 72-1. All right, 69-7, tag 28, one of the last dark cross males, the last dark cross male we're going to sell at our live auction. there on Sunday, 1 p.m. at Hoosier Roots in Summitville, Indiana. Big-bodied Barra that comes at us here that's wide and dimensional. He's got extra power. We talked a lot of those 69s in our online sale there that starts at 3 o'clock, and this hog just he got the bug early. So when you come through the barn and you're looking at those skinnier 69s that are more immature, I want you to take a look at this tag 28 and see what that genetics are capable of in terms of the muscle spread and dimension that they have. This pig's wide-based. You feed him slow. He's going to look really, really good in August.
Yeah, he is very big up high, awesome about his look. The way his neck ties in high, he's got that cocky presence and design from the side that a judge is going to look. That first impression will be awesome on this hog. Very, very shapely, and like Jake said, study him and then think about the rest of the litter and know that those litter mates are going to come with the power that he has.
Yeah, punch, power, exciting kind of pig. All right, another 63-liter male pig in here, and a common theme. I don't want people to get things confused and think that I have any idea what I'm doing when I'm making a sale order or putting together what pigs go in the live sale and what pigs go in the online sale. So you got to pay attention here, and that's partly by design. Maybe that's my master plan, like Pinky and the Brain, that old cartoon from the early 2000s.
You're old.
Well, I loved Pinky and the Brain and a peanut butter jelly sandwich after school. But anyway, my master plan to take over the world is to make sure people are paying attention at every turn, and we're selling some very good blue pigs at the end of the live sale to make sure everyone's still keyed in. This is one of them. Him and his brother, Dash 8, will be the last 2 pigs that we sell at Hoosier Roots there on Sunday. This pig's design and comfort level is awesome, and again, I think he fits the stereotype of what a gossip pig is. Clay sees all my pigs. He doesn't miss any doing any previews with me, and he can say, like, this is a good representation of my program. We've had success with pigs that look like this. We've had success with pigs that are bred like this. So here he is, 63.7, trick 4, pass the hat, next.
Yeah, a lot of people sell pigs that are half this pig size. That's fine. We know kind of how this pig's going to mature based on where he's at right now in his life cycle, in my opinion. And when Jake says this is the kind that he raises, he's able to say that because he's seen him mature, and this is the kind that when they go into somebody else's barn and somebody's feeding them, they have to have no excuses made for them, and you're excited to go out every day and take care of this pig. His length of hip and length of front give me the utmost confidence that he is going to be an awesome kind of a 290 to 300-pound heavyweight blue hog that's going to be really tough to get around, and he's going to be round-bodied, three-dimensional, opened up, square, and have the gas to go. Win that last class of blues, go into a division, and go into a drive, and still have some give. I like this kind a lot, Jake. He's certainly going to be on my short list.
Yeah, and not to get too long-winded here, we've certainly spent enough time with this pig in the pen, but it's important to me to have pigs with the right maturity pattern. When I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, and I was going to get 4 or 5 pigs for 4-H, right? And it was important that those 4 or 5 pigs turned out. And as I've changed roles and I supply these pigs, and the Lord's blessed me in ways I can't imagine, it's important for me to have the maturity right on these pigs. That way they go home, they get better every day, they stay good on their feet and legs, and they're a successful project for anybody, irregardless of their budget. But anyway, like this pig, like this litter, 63.7, tag 29. Tag 30, 63.8, trick 4, pass the hat. And like I said when I was talking to his brother, tag 29, I want you guys to pay attention. I want you guys to stay keyed in all day through the sale there and pay attention. This will be the last pig we sell at our live sale on Sunday, Feb 1st at Hoosier Roots. I think he's an incredibly good show pig. I love his power and his center body. I love his skeletal correctness. I love his toe quality. And then he's probably got as much bone and bulk and punch there from behind as any of them. So really good pig. Feel like a broken record. We've talked 4 or 5 blue pigs in a row, and last year we were very, very fortunate and had some very good blue pigs, and Clay asked me if I had any this year. And I said I think they're even better. So I can't wait to see where they land. I can't wait to see what great homes they land in. And I can't wait to work with those people to hopefully have some success.
Yeah, this one, in comparison probably to the littermate and some of the other blue males in the sale, he's huskier built, big centered, bigger up high, and like you said, when he leaves you, that's an impressive view. But he does all that with a clean jawline, a good front 1/3 of his skeleton, and he handles it really well when he's on the go. So I think, again, blue mast and kind of blue butted there, a good kind of a blue hog that I think can be very competitive. He is stout about his forearm, stout about his mug, good-footed hog. Again, I don't know if you call me which blue. Come sale time, I'll have at the top of the list, but I certainly think there's options for everybody in this sale.
Yeah, we're very, very proud. I think we're selling 4 blue pigs, and like I said, I'm going to make sure we get around this summer and view all these things before State Fair, because I just think they can play. And I think it's really, really hard to win in this industry. It's never been harder to win in this industry. And the only thing that we got is pigs that can just hopefully get us close, and pedigrees that have had success in the past. And, well, God willing, I hope these are competitive. Hello, this is Jake Gossett with Gossett Genetics here in Summitville, Indiana. I'm excited for you guys to watch our preview here for our Big Ones live sale. It's something that we started 4 or 5 years ago to not only sell our top-end pigs, but to make a celebration of Gossett Genetics, and more importantly, Gossett Genetics customers. And it's a way for me to spoil my people and give them some free food, drinks, and hopefully some fellowship. It's very, very important to me to try to give back, and so that's why we have the live sale there at Hoosier Roots, meal provided, schedule of events, doors open at 11. Well, I'll back up just one step. 8 to whenever, anytime you want to look at pigs on Sunday or the weekend, holler at me. But doors to the restaurant open at 11. The meal is served at noon. We've got 3 or 4 different options. I let those guys at the restaurant take care of it. And then the sale will start online, live sale, Chad Day Auctioneering with CCI. And Kennedy Ventures on the backside providing online bidding. This set of pigs is real, real special to me. I spent the majority of this sale is pigs that are out of first-time gilts that I fed out in this miserable old barn that should probably be torn down. I don't know how many bucket loads of dirty manure and straw I got out of there to feed out this set of gilts. But this is something, this set of pigs has been in the works for years, and I think the quality runs deep. I trust their genetics, and I trust how they're going to feed for you guys. So I appreciate you very, very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you Sunday, and I appreciate all of you.